Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a good looking puzzle in front of us. It's called More Aqua Tens by ebiggie. I'm assuming there was another Aqua Tens puzzle that ebiggie has done. I hadn't seen it, but we're going to give this one a look-see. It's kind of curious though. This one's been out for a couple of weeks, I think, at this point, 3 or 4 maybe, and it doesn't seem to have a whole lot of solves, so, but it's not listed as being terribly difficult, so I'm curious why that would be. We'll get into this thing and see if maybe it stumps us a little bit and we can figure out why, but let's just look at the rules and see what's going on, because I think it's really just a couple of rule sets, which you could probably tell from looking at this thing. But anyway, normal Sudoku, so every row, column, and 3x3 box will contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. Now we have 10 lines, and these are all of these aqua lines. So all lines in the puzzles are 10 lines, i.e. each 10 line consists of 1 or more contiguous groups of cells, each of which sums to 10. These groups of cells cannot overlap. Every cell is part of exactly one group. Digits may repeat freely on lines and even within sums. So let's say like this line here. We're going to have to divide it up into sections of 10. So these could be 10 and these could be 10, something like that. Or all of these together could add to 10, something like that. Is there any, yeah, let's look at this guy, because there's some situations, like I was going to say you can't make these 10, but I guess in here it might be able to see pretty good, but you can't put all these to be 10 because you can't make this one be 10 and we can't overlap. So here you could have, let's say 3 of them be 10, excuse me, these 2 be 10, and then like another 4 of them be 10 or something along those lines, but they have to be separate groups of digits that are adding to 10, but there's no restriction. We can repeat as long as the other rules of Sudoku allow that to occur. And then we have Kropkis as well. So cells separated by a black dot or 1:2 ratio. Those are these guys here. So these guys will be in a 1:2 ratio, or one of them will be double the other. And then cells separated by a white dot are consecutive, which are these guys here. So these guys will just be consecutive. And then not all dots are given. So there's no negative constraint. Cool. So those are all the rules. Link is going to be in the description below as always. Let's give this a try, see if we can get it done. All right, where are we going to start? I think I want to start here because this guy here, it's a 3-cell black Kropki, or 3 cells that are in series on black Kropki. So they must come from the 1, 2, 4, 8 grouping, and they must contain well, I didn't mean to do it that way. They must contain the 2 and the 4. Now this one again can't be the extreme digit because we can never put 2 of the same around it. Now, does that start to get us into anything, or do we need to use this guy to kind of look into here? Because there is a slight restriction here because of these 2 looking at this. Obviously, this can't be a 2-4 pair. It could be 1-2, it could be 4-8, or it could be 3-6, though. Now, there's no restriction on there being an 8 on either of these, because you can put an 8. No, you can't put an 8, can you? Okay, there is a restriction. We can't do 8. There we go. That's going to tell us what this is. I was thinking about we can't reduce the 8 because you could always put another digit here. So we have 2 digits that add to 10. Well, what is that other digit? It would have to be a 2. We just said you have to put a 2 on here. So we can't put a 2 in any of these positions. These are not 8s, which means this is 1, 4. Get rid of these markings. And this is the 2. Now, that means this here will start to get into our options now, because we can at least start removing some things. This is either, well, it can't be 1, 2, or 2, 4. So it's either 4, 8, or 3, 6. Now this can't be 4, so this can't be 8. Now, is it possible to remove this further? I think there is. Yeah, because if this was a 6, let's say, this would be a 2. Well, we have to make some portion of this line add to 10. So that would be 8. We'd have to add another 2. We can't do that. This is not 6. This is not 3. Now, I don't know that we can go any further on that. Or can we? 3, 5. No, we can't. Because this could, I was going to see if there's any restriction to that being a 3. Because it could be 3, 2, 5. and that would create 10. Okay. What else, though, can we say? I don't know that we can do much with the 1 or the 4 at the moment. I don't know that we can do much with the 4 or the 6 here at the moment. Because this could very well be a 6, and one of these two could be a 4, or it could be a 6 with a 1-3 pairing on either side of it, or in some organization. We don't quite know that. Now, what more can we do? I mean, we can start to think maybe on this row, but I don't think we really can. So this is either an 8-2 and we're done, or it's a 3-2 with a 5. Now, if it was an 8-2 and we were done, these 3 digits would have to add to 10. Can we make that happen? Yeah, I don't see why not. Because this could be if this was an 8, we'd have 1, 2, 4, and 8. So the lowest this could be would be a 3, which would be fine, because then we can make these two add to 7, as in a 1-6 would work. Something along those lines. And again, if this is a 3 and this is a 2, this would be a 5, we've said. And then these two digits would just somehow have to add to 10. Which I don't see a problem there either, because you could do like a 1-9. You could do a 4, well, you couldn't do a 4-6, but you could do a 1-9 down here. And it's not too much restriction. I mean, this one wouldn't be the 1, but you could put this one, the 1 here, the 9 here, and that would push the 8, and that would all be fine. Yeah, so I don't see a restriction there either. Okay. What are some other things maybe that we can work on here? I don't know if I want to necessarily start straying too far away from this section, because this is where we have some information. But we do know that this 3-cell here and this 3-cell line here are going to contain all 3 of those digits having to add up to the 10, because we can't divide these in any way. Same will occur here. The same does not occur on these 4s, the 4-cell lines. So I wonder if this Kropki gets, or one of these Kropkis gets reduced in any meaningful way. I don't think it really does. I guess we would know that. See, well, that's not even really that much of a reduction. Like, this couldn't be a 9, but you couldn't rule out an 8, because this could be a 1 and a 1. That would add to 10. Nothing's being broken. So, maybe... Well, let's think about the totality of this line. Because no matter how we slice this thing up, it's going to be 2 sets of 10. So this guy here adds to 20 in some fashion. And then these 4 are going to have to add to 25 in some fashion. Does that cause any problems? Because we can easily make 25 in 4 cells. But how do we do that? I'm wondering if there is some way to really think this through. where we know there's going to be some combination of digits here, but we don't really know what those are, so it's kind of hard to really say what these are. These have to add to 25. This could easily be a 4 still. And then you just have 3 digits left to add to 21. Which you can do. I don't know if I can see anything there mathematically to kind of work through that. I guess we could also, can we? We know these guys are some combination of groupings of 10s that fills the entirety of the middle box, box 5. Now, of course, the entirety of these values is going to be 45. So if these all add to 45, is there some division there? Because we don't know the divisions of the 10 lines to really get into it. Because this could be 2 and 3, or 3 and 2. Can it be, let's think about that further then, maybe. Because if this was all 3 being adding up to the 10, these guys here would have to be 35. Which you could do, but you'd have to have 2 10s, and then these two would add to 15 in some way, which is very possible. It would have to be that very specific grouping. Now, if these two added to 10, that would throw a wrench in the old system there. Because it would just mean that these guys have to add to 35. Does that still create something here? Let's think about it. What if it was these two to be 10? We still can't have both of these be 3 digits or groupings of 3 that each adds to 10. Because that would be 10, 20, 30. This would have to be 15. But I think it's probably possible that, yeah, which all you're doing is you're pushing where the grouping of 2 digits could go. Because you could have this guy be 10, these guys be 10, and this was 10, and then these would be 15. Or you could have 10, 10, and 10, and these 3 add to 15. Which is possible. Because if these were 3 groupings of 10s, this would be a 6-9 pair, right? Let's just kind of write this in, because we'd have to be pairing them up with these two, if these were both 10s. And this would be an 8 in this instance. These 3 digits would then just have to be 3, 5, and 7, which adds exactly to 15. Okay, so that does work mathematically. Now again, if these were, let's go back to the other side, if these guys are 3 digits that add to 10, and we said these two would have to be 2 groups, they would again be 6 and 9, and then these 2 would in some way add to 15. But not, well, we'd say these were 3, 2, and 5, so that would just leave what? 5, 7, 8. 7 and 8. Yeah, it would be the leftovers. And that would be perfectly fine yet again. Okay. Okay, I guess we're starting to see why maybe this doesn't have a ton of solves. There has to be some way to differentiate these, though. Question is how? Because we've done two situations where if these are 10, these two have to be 10, and these are 6s and 9s. Or if these are all 10s, and these would be 6 and 9. But we can't rule out the fact that this is a 10, and then one of these could be 3-cell 10. Right? Or can we rule that out? No, we can't. Because it could be like a 1-3-6. This one would obviously be the 1. This would be a 3-6 pair. Yeah, so mathematically, we could make this work in multiple ways. Well, and I don't think we have much purchase on these other guys, though. I don't know that we can do anything with this 4-6. Well, let's kind of do some coloring here, just to try to think something else through here. Again, we don't know anything about these guys. Excuse me. We don't know anything about how these are situated. At least I don't think we do. Because you can always make 10 in 4 different cells. Now you could do it even without repetition, because you could just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now obviously this guy couldn't be 1, 2, 3, 4, because you'd have to put a 2. It would be the 3 would go in one of these two, and you can't put anything else. But that doesn't really say anything, though, right? Or does this say something? Because the bare minimum of these two are a 3, 5. Well, I guess that then does that say this can't be? No, it doesn't. Because again, this could be a 3, 5. These could both be 1s. So there still is the possibility that this is just a singular. And in fact, in that case, it would have to be 3, 5, 1, 1, because you couldn't do the 3, 5 with a 2 and then have this be a 10. But that doesn't preclude this from just being a 3, 7 and adding to 10, and then these being some other way to make 10. So, I'm going to start thinking about maybe where 9s could go, but we can't put a 9 on here, because the second we do, we'd also have to add a 1. We can't do that. But there's nothing to say that any of these couldn't be a 9. Let's think, I guess maybe there's, because of that 9 restriction, there's a little bit of something we could work with. Let's think about it. 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is what this can be. This is actually the same, too. Because again, you can't put 1, 2, 4, and you can't put a 9 here, because you'd have to put the 1 here. Again, that's not really telling us a whole lot. Because this could almost be anything. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 would all fit here. Well, I'm already stuck. Now we know why there's not enough solves on this one. Well, I do at least. I'm sure some of you could easily see what this is going on here. or work it out in some fashion. Again, I don't think we have any real restriction here. We know it can't be 1, 2, or 2, 3, but that's pretty much it. Anything from 3 and up would work. Well, I guess 3, 4 wouldn't, would it? Because it would break this. So 4 and up. Not great. So we could still, this could be almost any combination. Well, I guess this, we said this couldn't be the 9 because we can't divide those out like that. But we can't do anything further than that. Could this be a 4 or 5? Actually, it can't be a 4 or 5, can it? Because we stated previously, if this was a 3, this has to be a 5. And if we put a 4 or 5 here, it makes this a 3. So there can't be a 4 on this because it forces the 5. Now I don't think we can go any further than that, though. Although we are fairly high on this cell now. So these are all low digits, essentially, because the least we can ever put here is a 5. So these at the most can add to 5, which means they are 1, 2, 3, 4s. And the higher we go up, the more restriction there is. But what does that really tell us again? I don't know. I don't think we can further reduce this because this could be a 5, 6, right? Because that forces the 4, 8. That means that is the 10, and then these 3 just have to be some grouping. So essentially, any time that we're forcing this to be an 8, will affect what this is. So like if this was a 5, 6 or a 6, 7, these 2 digits would have to be low. So let's say this was, if this was a 5, this could, no, that can't ever work, could it? Only if this was a 5. Yeah, but if this is a, oh, that's okay. Is this still reducing things? This is kind of odd. If this is a 5, 6 pair, we couldn't put a 5 here because this will be the 8, so these will be 10. These 2 digits will have to add to 5. Well, we can't make that happen because this couldn't be, it would have to be from, these would have to be from 1, 2, 3, and 4. This would have to be a 3 and force a 2. They'll be repeating a 2. Now, if this was the 5 and this was the 6, we still have to make these 2 digits add to 4. But we can make that happen because this could be the 3 and this could be a 1. Shoot, that's really close to removing the 5 from this as well, but it doesn't quite stand. Now, I don't think we can really come from the other side either, because again, this could be a 9-8 pair, where this is the 9, this would be a 1. This would be 2, 3, and 5, as we previously stated. And that would all work. And this, of course, becomes the 3-6 pair. If it was an 8-7, this is also a 3-6. This is 5 again. Well, that wouldn't work because this would have to either be the 8 and a 2, which breaks, or a 7 and a 3, which would break. So this can't actually be an 8 because it would cause that position to occur. Because if this is an 8, this is forced to be a 7. And we get this, that you get the situation where this is the 8, this has to be a 2, and it can't be. So that's not 8. What if this is 7? If it's 7, this has to be 3. And that breaks as well. It doesn't matter what goes on here. If this is a 7, we can't do 1 and 2 because we already have the 2. So therefore, these two just have to add to 10. That would be 7 and 3. Well, if we put a 7-3 pair here, this is an 8-2 pair that adds to 10. And then this would have to add to its 10 by itself. This is not 7. That's really weird. It is reducing in that pattern. Maybe there's more we can keep doing. Let's keep on this thing. Again, we said 9-8 could work. What if this was a 6? That forces... Yeah, if this is 6, this is 3 and 1. We said that already. If this is 5, this is broken. We said that before. Because no matter what this, if this is 5, it forces these to be 2 digits that add to 5, because obviously you can't have a 5-5 pair. And we just previously stated we can never make that work because this would be forced to be a 3 and this would be a 2 and break. This is not 5. This can't be 6 or 7. Okay. Oh no, it could be 7. Hold on. 7 goes back. It can't be 6. But the 6 could go with 5 or 7, the 9 could go with 8. Let's think about this digit now from this side and try it one more time. Again, if this is an 8, 9, this is a 1, 3, 5. Maybe we need to be putting these digits in. But let's do this real quick, or as quickly as we can, I guess. If this is a 7, this is 6. We said this would be a 3 and a 1. Because the 7, 6 forces this to be an 8, 2, so we have to make these add up to 4. If this is 5, and this is 6, we have the exacts. This is always a 1. Because let's go through these options again. If this is a 9, this has to be a 1. Doesn't matter that this is an 8. And what it does up here. If this is a 6, if you put no matter what you put here, if this, doesn't matter again what this is, if this is a 6, well, that forces this to be the 8, 4, which means the 6 has to have a 1, 3 pair, and this can't be 1. This is 1, which means this isn't. That now removes 8 from the equation, which means this is 6. Goodness gracious, this is 4 and 8. This is 3. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that to happen. What do we have left? What are these 3 digits? 5, 7, and 9. This can't be 9, so this is. Okay, we have a 5, 7 pair. Now, if this is a 5, these have to add to 5. I think we can do that. If it's a 7, they have to add to 3, obviously. It just means these again are from 1, 2, 3, and 4 as possibilities. So maybe we'll end up getting a triple or a quad or something like that running through here. Okay, so let's mark these. We'll do yellow and purple, just so that we've defined them as being the groups that they are. Okay, so where does this get us now? We've got a 4 here. Okay, let's go back to what we were saying here maybe, and how we can divide this up, because this adds to 10. These in total add to 13, so these have to add to 32, which means they have to be, these both have to be 10s. There's no way to mathematically do it anymore, so this is a 6-9 pair, which means this is a 5-7 pair. This and this are 10s, which means we have to start a 10 here and start a 10 here. Now, only one of them, so it's going to be 2 on one side and 3 on the other. We don't know which one it is yet, though. Whichever one is the 2 is going to have the 7, and it's going to have to go with a 3. And the one that is the 5 will take on the 4, and then I'll have to have a 1 with it. So this is a 1-3 pair. This is not 1 or 3. This can't be 4 anymore. We might get some work going on here as well, because if that's a 4, at least this could be a 6, and that gets to 11. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do have a quad now. There's no givens there, though. And again, we don't know which one is the 7-3. I don't think any of those would break anything, right? 7 with the 3 gives a 1-2-4. Well, it just means this is a 1 in that case. And then these are a 2-4 pair. This also can't be a 4 for the same reasons here. If that's a 4, lowest this could be is 2, so that would be 6-11. All right. Maybe now we have something over here we can start to get into? Or is there something here and here? Because again, if this is a 5, it could be a 2-3 pair, or it could be a 4-1. If it's a 7, it is a 1-2. 4-1-3. Does that work? If this is a 7, it forces a 2 here, because these have to be a 1-2 pair to make 10. If that's 2, that forces 4. That means this is 1, this is 3, this would be 7. I think that all works out. Yeah. Looks like it would. Okay. What about you? Again, it's the same concept, though. This could be a 2-3 pair. But I think maybe that reduces this guy, right? Because this could never be a 2. If it is, it's a 2 with the 4, which is 6. And again, we're broken. So that's a no. Again, I don't know if that's necessarily massively helpful for us, but okay, what else can we do now? Let's try to find some other way in, or another continuation here. What about this Kropki now that we have some of these things looking in? What can this actually be? It can't be 1. Could be 2, 3. Well, it can't be 3. Could be 4. Can't be 5. Could be 6. Can't be 7 or 8. It can't be 9 because we have the 1-3 pair. Okay, so this is not 8. And it's not 6. So this is either now 3, 5, or 7. If this... Oh, this can't be 6 either, can it? Because what does it do here? The second you put a 6 here, this has to be a 4. Because you can't have 2 digits that add... or 3 total to add to 10 and leave it 10. So it would have to be a 4. Even if you could make these 2 digits add up to 4, they can't. Because this would have to be a 2-2 pair. So this is not 6. This is not 7. Okay. Now from there, I don't think we can say this isn't a 4 cell. Right? Because this could be a 2, let's say. And this could be a 2. Again, no reason why they can't repeat. And these two would just have to add up to 6 in some way, which we can do actually with a 2 and a 4 would work. So we get 3 2s. That all seems to work. Okay. This can't be an 8 anymore because it can't pair with anything here. Could this be... Can we further reduce this? If this was a 7, this would have to be a 3. Which will work, and these two just have to add to 10 some way. If it's a 6, this has to be a 3, and that would break, because we'd have to put a 1 here, and then this guy would have to be 10. So again, no 6s. 6s are getting kind of squashed on these lines for some reason. Anyway, if this is a 5, this is a 3, and that can't happen. Because if we have 5, 3, we don't have the 1, 1 pair left over anymore. Because this here says this can't be 1. So this can't be 5. Now, if this is 3, I think it has the exact same property. Because that forces the 5, which is 8, 1, 1. No, this is 7. Therefore, this is 3. Okay. Now, these two are... the 10 spot, so these two have to be their own version of 10. Can we reduce this guy down enough to do that? And it could be 1. That's not a 1. This is a 1, which could put a 9. It could be a 2, which would throw an 8. Can't be 3. Could be 4, 6. Can't be 5. Can't be 6 because we can't put a 4 here. Can't be 7. Can't be 8. Can't be 9. So these are the options. Not great, but it's a little something. Okay. Now, can we go any further with this 2, 4 now? Because if it's a 2, I think we have the situation where we could do a 2, 8 actually. Or we can do the 2, 2, 2 with the 4. If it's a 4, we'd have to cut this off here, I think. And it'd have to be a 6. Because I don't think we can make these guys add to 6. In any viable way, but I don't know if that gets us anywhere either. What are you guys? Let's put you in and see if anything happens here. 5, 6, 8, and 9. This is not 9. We don't know what this guy does, so that's not necessarily getting us anywhere. These guys don't have any real place yet. Okay. What else can we get into then? This can't be 8. Same thing we said. We now cannot put a 1 here, so we can't do a 1, 1. Let's see if we can get something here. What if this was a 6? It would break. Or would it? No, it wouldn't, because it could be a 2, 2. Yeah, that would work. So in the instance that this is a 6, this is a 2 and a 2. I would like for that to occur. because that would sort this out. What if it's a 5? And again, if it's a 6, it can't be a 1, 3 because of this. So you can't put a 1 or a 3. It'd have to be a 2, 2. Now, if it's a 5, these have to add to 5 in some way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the options are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 for both of them, whether it's a 5 or a 6. Again, if it's a 6, it's a 2, 2. If it's a 5, it's some way to make 5, and it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, these can't be 1, 3, or 4. This is 2. Okay. Now, this is either 2 or 3. Oop, wrong button. It's either 2 or 3. Because again, it has to either add to 4 or 5, and this is already a 2. Doesn't quite get us through there, but okay. Surprised that got us where it did. Now, can we use this 2 in any fashion? Well, it means this can't be an 8. One of these 2 is the 8. This could still be a 1. Well, can we further this guy because of this 2? It could be a 9 if this was a 1 and these are 2 ways or just some way to make 10. If it's a 6, this could be a 4 and this is some way to make 10. No, it can't have the 6 and have all of these add to 10. I wonder if we're just going to get to the point where we're telling ourselves this is a 10 and a 10. What if this is 5? Well, if it's 5, this obviously can't be a 5. So these 3 digits would all have to add to another 5. And that doesn't work, does it? Because what if they are 5? Well, I think the only way we can make 5 work is 1, 1, 3. Because these 2 digits here have to at least be 4, because we can't use the 2. So that is 1 and 3. If that's 4 and we have to get to 5, we have to add another 1, which breaks. So this is not 5. So these 2 are a 10. These 2 are a 10. This is either 1 or 4. Okay. Does that... I don't think we can do anything here, though. Because we just know these 2 have to add to 10, and they can't be a 1-9 pair. Is there anything else we can do? 6, 9... Is there any other interaction between these guys? Or do we have anything looking across that's going to give us any help? Again, we don't have a quad here. I would love for this to be a 2, but it doesn't have to be because this could be a 5, 3. What else? We're making progress very slowly. This is going to be a long solve if I get through it. But I would like to get through it. I'm starting to think if we need to look at this Kropki or if we need to look down here. Don't know that this guy has much use just yet. It's going to start to say, where does the 6 go? But it could go in 2 places. Can't really say anything about the 9 or the 4, I don't think. Okay. Well, I guess we know the 4 doesn't go in these because we said we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad. But that could be any of these, still could be the 4. Okay, what else do we now have? Don't think we're getting anything out of this. It's not 1, 2, or 2, 3, and it's not 9, 8. But I think it can be anything between 3 and 8. So that doesn't seem very productive. You know, one of these is a 3, but I guess we know one of these is a 7. Wasn't looking at Sudoku. But again, And the 3s were looking this way, so it's just one of these guys. But again, that doesn't really say anything over here. Okay. Come on now, let's not bog down here. I guess we know this is a 6-9 pair. Didn't look at that either. Where do the 6s and 9s go? They have to go here. So these are 6-9, which means this is 8, which means this is 2, 4, 3, 5. That's big. This is 8. Okay. Well, that's helpful. What are these guys? There's a 1 on it, so this is a 4, which means this is a 6, which means 9 and 6. Okay. What are these now? Given 1, 5, 8. Put those in. This is not 8. What are these two? 2 and 7. What are these two? 1 and 9. Okay. Well, that was a jump there. What about you now? Or do we start to look more at Sudoku? I don't think we have anything, but I'll give it a look-see. At least for just a second. Nothing really on the 5s. Can't rule that out. Okay. The next thing was going to start looking at this guy again. Quick look at the 9s, but it's not really... Okay, let's look at this guy. What can this be? Well, it can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4. And we can't have anything... Because it can't be... Here's the point. I was trying to figure out how to say this. This is a 2-cell 10. Because this, the most, or the least this can ever be is a 5. So that gets you to the 9. You can't put a 1 here because this can't be a 10. So this just has to be the 6 to pair with the 10. And these two are a group, and these two are a group. Now, that means one of these is a 6. And can we say anything about this? Like, what can this digit be? Maybe. Or maybe these guys come into play. Let's just put these in. We need 5, 7, and 9. This is not 5. I guess that doesn't really do a whole lot there. There may start to get onto this guy then. All right, let's think about this further then. These have to add to 10. What can this one be? Cannot be 1. Could be 2. Could be 3. Yes. Could be 4. Actually, it could be 5 as well. We can't rule out the 5-5 pairing because these are on a diagonal with each other. Obviously, it can't be 6. It can't be 7. Can't be 8. Can't be 9. So those are our options. Let's put this in. So 5, 6, 7, and 8. And does that do anything? Doesn't look like it. All right, do we jump down here? Do we jump over here? Because there is a slight restriction on this one, a slightly larger restriction on this guy now, because it can't be a 6-4 to go with the, as well as not being a 9 or a 1. So it could be 8, 2, or 7, 3. Obviously, it can't be a 5, 5. Now this can't be a 3, so this can't be a 7, and this can't be a 2, so this can't be an 8. 2, 7 pair, perfect, 9. Okay, we might be able to start getting into these guys, which can get our Kropki running. Get your Kropki running. What can this be? Let's think it through. Can't be a 1. Can't be a 2. Can't be 3. I guess it could be a 4. Can't be 5. It could be a 6, I think. And a 7. Or an, oh no, it can't be 7, sorry, because of the 2, 7 pair. And then 8. So those are the options. Now, if it's an 8, this is a 7. Let's go through these because we might get more doubles and triples and stuff like that. If it's a 6, it could be 5 or 7. If it's the 4, it could be 3 or 5. So it's a 3, 5, 7 here right now. Okay. Let's see. 2, 7. No, I don't think that's getting us anywhere now. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. This is why we put things in. 1, 2, 3, 5. This is a quintuple. This is a 9 and a 1. One of these two is a 5 because of that. What are these two digits actually? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 9 are guns. These are a 4, 6 pair. I was hoping that would get us something down here. Was there anything on these other ones that were givens? The 1s could go multiples, 2 could go multiple, 3 can go multiple, 5 we said a 7. Okay, so no. Wait, that's not a 7. Why did that get put in there? That's a 1. I just typed in the wrong. This is 1. Okay, that didn't change anything. These are 4, 6 again. Let's put those in. Okay, so how do we keep going on this guy? He's struggling. He's making us go, but we're trying to get there. 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Gonna keep checking on these things here. Okay, don't think we can do anything with you at the moment. Don't think we can do anything with you at the moment. We're kind of stuck here. I think. Is there anything being pushed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. What about some... Let's do a quick look at Sudoku again, though. Because one of these is a 9. One of these is a 9. Yeah. Guess not. Anything else, though? One of those, not necessarily. 7s, we don't really have anything. 6s, we're kind of pushing 8s and 6s. I'm wondering if there's anything else that's getting pushed that way, but I don't think there is. One of these two is a 6. We got those. We know one of those two is. One of those two, okay. 5s, I don't think so, because there's so few of them at the moment. 4s, oh, this is a 6-4 pair. This is not 8. There we go. Well, it's a little something. That's going to push these guys to be 1 and 8. That's going to be perfect. That says 3 and 7. That 1 and 3 says this is 2. 7, 2, 5, 3, 1, 4, and 6. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Do. Okay, let's keep going. What is this? This is 5 and 9. Let's put those in, and then we'll come back and start checking this other stuff. This is 7 and 8. Okay, now let's see what any of this stuff did. This 2 here, what does that say, if anything? If this is a 5, this is a 3. If that's a 7, this is broken. This is a 5. This is 7. 5, 7. This has to be 3. That's going to give us 9 and 5. Good. And the 3 gives us the 1 and the 3. That gives us the 4 and the 1, which gives us a 2. This is 10. Does any of that come back? No. What's this? It's not 7. It's not 6. That reduces this. It can't be 3 or 4. It still could be 5, 5, or 8, 2, I think. Oh, no, it can't be, because the 7 just says this is 8 and 7, which says 5 and 5, and 1 and 7. Not 1s. Okay, we are getting there now. Let's keep going. This is, I told you, it's going to be a little long one, but that took a lot of work to get into this thing. I can see why it doesn't have as many solves. What is this? 6 and 8. We can probably get some more work done down here, maybe. Or not. Oh, but we can work out these guys, because we said the 3 had to go with the 7, right? Yep, this is 5. Therefore, these are the grouping, and these are a grouping. I'll keep the coloring going. All right, so let's look here first. See if anything gets us going. Yes, this is a 1-2 pair, so this is 1 and 2. These have to be from 3, 4, and 9. This is the 9. These are not. Okay, 5 and an 8 isn't quite resolved yet. We're going to get down to this guy here in a minute. I think what we want to do is really just put all of our options in as much as we can and then get onto this guy. So let's think further. Let's look at Sudoku real quick, though. One of these is a 1. One of these is a 2. And one of these, because if we start reducing options, we're going to have a better chance of getting through here. 3s are not quite done. One of these is. Anything on these 4s just means one of these is. I don't know if that's great, but I'll put it in. What about the 5s now? One of these is a 5. This is getting a little bit messy now with all this, but 6s we already knew. One of these is a 7. Oh, 7s. There we go. This is 7, which forces 7. Good. That forced the 2, did it not? Because no 2, no 2. Yep, this is 2. Which is going to say this is 2. That gets our 2s done, so the Sudoku is helping. Good. Let's keep going on it then, and then we'll come back to this guy. The 8s, not necessarily, and 9s, probably not necessarily either. Is there anything here? We need a 4, 8, and 9. Nothing staring it down. Okay, let's get into this guy now. Let's think about this digit in particular. It's either a 3 or a 4. Now that pushes this. We know that, okay, so we know this is the entirety of this line is going to add to 10 because these don't already, so we have to at least add 1. So all of these, let's make you orange. Now, these two either equal 5 or 6. If they were to equal 6, that would break, because this would have to be a 1-3 pair. Well, this could be the 1, but this can't be a 3. Just making sure that's right. So this is 3. That's going to give us 4 and 3. That doesn't cross over yet, but these are 5, so these have to add to 5. They have to be a 1-4 pair. The 1 goes here, the 4 goes here. 6 and 4, 8 and 1. This is not 1. What is it? It's 8, which means this is 6 and 5 and 5 and 8. This is a given 9. This is a given 4. What are these two? 8 and 9 again. And those aren't resolved yet. Hopefully we have something to resolve these, because I don't want to have a deadly pattern. Oh, we do. The 4 and the 1 here gives us the 6 and the 9, and that should do it. 8, 6, 8, 9. There we go. Wow, your deduction skills are most excellent. Party on. Great job. That took a while. As you can see, there's only 47 solves in almost a month. While this one wasn't listed as super difficult, it definitely took a lot of time to get into it and start to figuring out how all the stuff went together. So, really good puzzle. Just really, really had to kind of work through somehow, or how some of these things could work. I was very surprised at how this guy came together, particularly with this Kropki becoming reduced and it then starting this pattern that got that all going. But anyway, whew, I'm a little bit tired now. Hey, it's lunchtime, so good timing, I guess. Let's just turn noon here. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed that one. This might end up being the difficult puzzle for this week. I'll try to mix them in. I've had people say they'd like to see more difficult puzzles every now and again, so I am trying to work those in. Hopefully, schedule allows where I can spend the time to do those to get them on here. But anyway, enough said. Very good puzzle. Hope you all enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.